words, an everyday part of life in which I convey an idea that I've just thought of to you, or something more. Words can be used for so many things, but there's such a tricky nature to words. When I say, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I promise, you don't look at what I'm saying, you look at my actions. You look to see if I'm really sorry, if I really am forgiving you, if I really hold my promise. But then, when I bring out the bad words, the swear words, the cuss words, when I say, I hate you, I'm angry at you, why did you do that? You don't look at my actions, you look at what I've just said. Why? The words used are the same. I'm saying the same thing, but for one you look at my actions, and the other you look at my words. When I say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, it was an accident. You still remember the sting of those words. And in the quickness, I said it. And are words even our ideas, or are they even our thoughts? Am I thinking of every single word that I'm going to say right now in this stream of consciousness? No, of course not. I'm just letting them tumble out quickly and fastly, not thinking about the grammar or the sentence structure or anything like that. And that's most of how we talk. So then where do our words come from? Where do they come from? They're not coming from a massive, big ball of thought in our brain saying we're going to say this and then that and then this and this, that, and then construct it in a perfectly beautiful sentence. No! We just speak. We just speak it out. And is it the same? Is it the same as when I sit down and I really think about what I want to type? About when I write a story or a poem or a sonnet or a song? Is that the same as speaking to you? I think about it more. I look at the sentence structure. I think about the grammar. Is it the same as when I'm speaking to you? There's such a tricky nature to words, and words are constantly changing. There are words that I say now that didn't exist 100, 200 years ago. There are words that existed 200, 300 years ago that I'm not even speaking now. And none are not even used in common language. And then there's slang, there's dialects, there's so many different things. The tricky nature of words. And we try to take these words. We try to bring them down to our level so we can explain a simple idea. But even then, so often we don't even think about what we're saying and how we can hurt someone with a sharp remark or a sharp curse word. Where do the words that we say come from? When we don't think about saying them. We get words into our head when we're children. We follow the roles of our parents and other people that we see in our lives, and that's where we learn language from. But language is different from words. Words are what comprise a language. For example, there is a word for that in Chinese, or there's a word for that in French, and we don't have that word. We use it. Language is a strict thing. You have all these different languages, but words can mean so many different things. And who am I to say that you are thinking of exactly the same meaning I say when I say a particular word? When I say dog, are you thinking of the exact same image I say when I say dog? No, of course not. And I can't get into your head and see what you are thinking. The only way I know what you are thinking is by what you are telling me through your words, and I interpret them in a completely different way, in a way that you might not want me to interpret them. So then how do we take these words, the tricky nature of things, and bring them down to our level so we can convey an idea that you and me can understand? Can we? Can we? And then comes the whole chicken and egg situation of, did we create words, or are words constantly creating us? Which is it? Does the culture create the words that we use that constantly change, changing the meanings, changing the phrases, changing the slang? Or do the words create our culture? Which came first? The internet speak, or the internet? Which came first? English, or the words that comprise it? Well, obviously your mind would say English, the language, we created the words, but there are so many different words that people are creating and using each day, changing the nature of them each day. that it's sometimes hard to try and figure out what the other person means. You cannot know exactly what I'm thinking at this moment as I talk to you through this camera, which I will then upload the video to YouTube. You cannot know exactly what I'm thinking, and I cannot know exactly what you are thinking when you write the comment. I just have to take it on trust. Trust that we are speaking the same language, trust that we are speaking the same words, and trust that we will be able to understand one another. Because that's why we use words, to try and understand one another.